Hello and welcome to another little bit of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Monday the 18th of May 2026, the year of Green Wicks and BSV Terranode in the mix. Branch of threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai, all your posts put on chain. Let's see what we got today. So just some posts I forgot to go through earlier today. I think these are ace. Obviously the articles made quite a good impression on a lot of people. People had questions and these were some of my replies, which I thought were pretty great. Then we'll go over some other posts as well. Fantastic independent trailer made for the movie Killing Satoshi. So we'll get into that. Looking forward to it. We'll just carry over a quick sort of 10-minute read of the article. Does digital cash have a place in the economy? Yeah. And then we'll finish on that one. Right, let's get into it.
Craig says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, and transactions flying free. He's acclaiming his legacy, you'll surely see.
All right, here we go. So this is what I forgot to read out earlier. So as a result of the article with people asking questions, I had to explain Bitcoin a little bit further. And this is one of the explanations I came up with. I was just like, gee, this sort of came out from out of nowhere. But I thought this was really good. So I said, on a system like the Bitcoin network, people will not be interested in what others do in their private lives. They will only be interested in criminal activity that is having a detrimental effect on everyone's lives. So for those who understand Bitcoin, they'll know what that means. Where literally, if everybody is just simply conducting themselves in the private on the network, they're not going to put the effort in to track them down to find out what they're doing, because everything is private. It all involves tracing the chain of signatures, which is going to take a lot of effort, time, resources, and expense at doing it. So therefore, people aren't going to be bothered about what people are doing in the private, but what they are going to be bothered about is criminal activity that's having a detrimental effect on everyone's lives, because that's what it does. It affects everyone. So therefore, they will track it down on the Bitcoin network. Child trafficking, gun running, drug dealing, whatever, organ harvesting, black markets, stuff like that. You know, things that are having a detrimental effect on society. If people are just simply doing things in the private that are not having an effect on society, people are not going to be bothered. It's that simple. So therefore, all the little misdemeanors that Big Brother says, oh, niche, yeah, can't be doing that anymore, people won't ignore it. But all the stuff that Big Brother is doing, like inverting, subverting, and perverting the Constitution, committing high treason on the people, that is going to be tracked and traced and proved. Yeah, that's what's really going to happen. So this is massive, and I hope that explains it. I continued saying, people will flood into the positive Bitcoin economy to escape the negative effects of the central bank controlled fiat economy. Therefore, the central bankers will not have to agree to get out of the way. The people will simply push them out of the way. And that was a quote by me. So as we carry on reading the article, hopefully that'll shed more light on it to anybody who doesn't understand it. But have a listen to this. This is outrageous.
New asset seizure laws are about to be passed in a matter of hours, and absolutely nobody is paying attention. 65 million people are about to wake up on May 18th, that's next Monday, and they will realize that they are not allowed to sell or hold any Bitcoin. If you try to escape that country, and if a police officer at the airport asks you to unlock your Bitcoin wallet, give them your private passcode, and if you refuse to give them that passcode and hand over your Bitcoin, you will be facing a $60,000 fine and 5 years in jail. New asset seizure laws are about...
That is absolutely insane. Now, who knows how they're going to enforce it, but obviously anybody who's got their coins on exchanges or anybody who isn't using the genuine Bitcoin BSV network, all of their coins are vulnerable because they're all on centrally controlled networks that can be manipulated. That's the whole point of Bitcoin, is that it's the only network that the cabal don't have a central point of authority or control that they can worm their way into. It's effectively bulletproof. But that's really kind of quite scary if that's what they're going to try and do there. So what he's just mentioned, like jeepers. Anyway, let's get into this. So what Bitcoin does is just made a fantastic trailer to the Killing Satoshi movie, which I've just put on my channel. Let's have a look at this. This is ace. This is really good, really good. Here we go.
Satoshi had a vision.
With a stable protocol takes away power.
Satoshi had a vision.
BTC changed my protocol.
Satoshi had a vision.
What we have is my original vision and a bunch of criminals.
Satoshi had a vision.
Has an audit trail forever for a reason.
Satoshi had a vision. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system.
How long are you willing to wait this out? Because, you know, what you could call it a
2026.
2020. Dear Lord.
That's my date.
No one can sell until 2026. So
I want them to burn everything they own. Then we finish.
My name is Craig Wright. I'm the creator of Bitcoin. And some of you know me as Satoshi Nakamoto.
I don't like criminals.
Satoshi had a vision.
There is no fucking king. There is no glorious leader. One thing I will do, yes, someone got it right. I am here to kill off Satoshi.
Satoshi had a vision.
The crypto community.
How good is that? That was so good that someone actually believed it. Look, Chat BSV said here, imagine the work of producing a movie. The production, the branding, the artwork, only to have it butchered and leaked in advance by some rando's trailer made in iMovie over a weekend. That was hilarious. I said, excellent. That movie trailer is so good that someone believed it. And look, he still hasn't got a sense of humour about it. He goes, imagine having to rely on media spins, fake news, and lying to self, only to cope with reality. Someone's coping here with reality and justify your irrational beliefs. BSV is a personality cult, really. Until you idiots snap out of it, BSV will keep getting wrecked. There might be a troll on there, but anyway, getting his knickers in a twist over something that's just a bit of fun, that's hilarious. Some people taking it so seriously. That's brilliant. It's brilliant. Someone thought, and this was my little thumbnail. Like, loving that. I mean, it looks like Jeffrey Epstein is the, the talk of the town at the moment. So I thought, I had a little bit of Jeffrey Epstein in there. I thought, yeah, loving that for a movie trailer thumbnail. Great stuff. Right, let's get into this then. So we're on the world's gold heist. So 8 minutes gone already. Just read this bit. So the Federal Reserve Act was signed into force the following year in December 1913. With its ability to print currency from nothing, the central bank makes profits when it prints currency for itself. All that's needed is an excuse. World War I started the following year in 1914. The most profitable businesses are those that create consumable products with the highest profit margins, weapons. It would be very convenient for those who had the ability to print currency from nothing to then have an excuse to print excessive amounts and wash it through a military-industrial complex. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Or during World War I, 1914 to 1918, large amounts of gold were stolen from Russia and continued to be extracted during the Bolshevik Revolution that continued up until 1923. Then we have Executive Order 6102. Under Executive Order 6102, issued on the 5th of April 1933, it was ordered that all persons in the United States hand their gold into a Federal Reserve Bank before May 1st, 1933, under threat of a $10,000 fine or 10 years in prison or both. What followed on the evening of Monday, July 3rd, 1933 was one of the world's largest Baal worshipping ceremonies, conducted at Soldiers Field, Chicago, called the Romance of the People. Baal is a Canaanite deity often worshipped for the purchase of fertility and economic prosperity. What a coincidence. The Wall Street failed 1934 coup d'etat. A report of the McCormack-Dickstein Committee, published November 20th, 1934, stated that in the last few weeks of the committee's official life, it received evidence showing that certain persons had made an attempt to establish a fascist organisation in this country, the United States. There is no question that these attempts were discussed, were planned, and might have been placed in execution when and if the financial backers deemed it expedient. The failed Wall Street coup d'etat of 1934 was foiled by Sergeant Major Smedley Darlington Butler. Smedley D. Butler, a legendary US Marine Corps general twice awarded the Medal of Honor for battlefield heroism, infiltrated the plotters that were conspiring to overthrow the US government and exposed their plans to the US President, Franklin D. Roosevelt, before they were able to place the plans into execution. In a now famous public broadcast, he said, "The plan as outlined to me was to form an organisation of veterans to use as a bluff or a club at least to intimidate the government and break down our democratic institutions. The upshot of the whole thing was that I was supposed to lead an organisation of 500,000 men which would be able to take over the functions of government. My main interest in all this is to preserve our democratic institutions. I want to retain the right to vote and the right to speak freely and the right to write. If we maintain these basic principles, our democracy is safe. No dictatorship can exist with suffrage, freedom of speech and press." It's no coincidence that the Securities and Exchange Commission was set up on June 6, 1934, after the failed coup d'etat of the US government. Since no arrests were ever made, the plotters then created the Securities and Exchange Commission to ensure that no other authority had the power to create or print currency, and that all future corporations and business owners would be registered and therefore known to them. That's what they did, the scoundrels. In World War II, 1939 to 1945, the US corporations were supplying both Hitler and the Allies with arms and ammunition that were paid for by gold reserves. During this time, large amounts of gold were removed from Europe and Japan, hence the legend of the missing Nazi gold trains. So much gold was removed from Europe that the Federal Reserve pointed out to the European countries that they now no longer had enough gold in their banks to back the amount of currency they had in circulation, and so proposed the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944. The year 1944 would have been the 200th birth year of Mayer Amschel Rothschild, born in 1744. There we go, and next we shall go on to the Bretton Woods Agreement. Cracking stuff. Right, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
I understand.
Do you?
Do you? This is it. I'm telling you, this is it.
The king still has one more move.